Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Mireia Ocampo, and today we will be talking about both healthy and unhealthy relationships amongst adolescents. So, as teachers, what is it that we need to know? So, only 33% of teens who were in a violent relationship ever told anyone about their abuse. So, a lot of this times, the victims of this physical abuse are silent, and of these adolescents, 43% of them um, say that this type of abuse actually happened on school grounds. And statistics like these really show us about that the relationship abuse is really startling common phenomena, and that it affects all different types of people. And it also occurs in same-sex relationships. Now, teens and young adults have a unique set of factors that affect them. As we talked about, they have a lot of things that affect their adolescence and their the stages as of maturity. And this includes peer pressure, the desire to be popular, and the lack of dating experience. So they still haven't had that experience. So I will talk about a little bit about the the factors or that play having bigger play into their lack of knowledge in terms of relationships. So with that being said, with that lack of experience and for young teens, it is really important to educate youth about the value and respect of characteristics of healthy and unhealthy relationships before they start to date. So this is really making sure that they are equipped with these skills to really maintain a healthy relationship and know when it is a safe or a good time to opt out of a relationship that may not be healthy, and also maintaining these lines of communications with them, so that students really feel supported and open for them to express their concerns about it. And we also this is a source from the Health and Human Services webpage, but they also say that those who report experiencing intimate partner violence in high school are also likely to experience it later in life. So again, that prevention piece is really important. But the base of a healthy relationship, well, um, this slide really is about the interesting statistics that I found. So first, for dating, so amongst adolescents, 13 to 17-year-olds, nearly two-thirds have been in a dating or romantic relationship. So this means that really the percentage of high school students who are dating has decreased, as well as the percentage of students who have had sexual relationships. So, for example, in 1990, that had decreased from 54% percent to 38%. And we also have this thing with this notion that with increasing social media usage, that adolescents have have higher access to like online dating profiles and all of that. But interestingly, it said that a study in 2015 said that only 8% of all teenagers had met a romantic partner online. So as much as they have access to technology, a lot of the relationships that can affect them are really those who are around them, and especially in school and other related events. With that being said, it's really important to know the differences between healthy and unhealthy relationships. I know that most of us know what they are, but as adolescents, they are still experiencing, this new phase of having interacting with others. And one of the most important things to know about healthy relationships is that really they have mutual respect, they have trust, honesty, and they compromise. So of course it's okay to disagree at times, but when they do have disagreements, there must be compromise, and that compromise should not solely rely on one person being the one to compromise all the time. And it also comes with individuality. So if that person who you are in a relationship with um, takes away from who you are and makes you change for you to be with them, then um, that is not going to be healthy relationship. So you really want your individuality. Healthy relationships also have good communication, of course, anger control, and fighting fair. Like I said, fighting can occur and it's very common. It's not necessarily mean that it's unhealthy, as long as you, when you have these arguments, that you target the argument and not the person themselves. And they are healthy relationships are also understanding. You also they also have self-confidence, and you have healthy sexual relationships. And on the other hand, for unhealthy relationships, you can see a lot of control, hostility, dishonesty, disrespect, a lot of dependence. So a lot of times this transfers to emotional dependence, leaving a person to really feel stuck in that relationship, and having that emotional dependence on them makes them kind of blind, or makes them ignore those red flags that come along with it. There also includes intimidation, physical violence, and sexual violence as well. Well, with our adolescents and our students, we we know that they have a lot of influences around them, especially their friendships. But it's really interesting to see how the adolescents change from when they are in the younger stages of adolescence to the older ones. So at first, when they are younger, they are more driven by wanting the desire to really fit in with their peers, and these students may change what they do or are interested in to match their friends' interests. So they have a really big influence. Although as later in adolescence, they might have more diverse friend groups and have independent preferences that they aren't afraid to express with their social circles. So later on, they definitely have more independence on who they are. And of course, the other social group um, that we have relationships with are our parents and caretakers. So research shows that parents continue to have more influence than peers on many important outcomes. So including whether adolescents smoke, use alcohol or drugs, and have sexual intercourse. So parents really become a really big model for our students. And though some amount of conflict between adolescents and their parents is normal, um, adolescents still rely on parents or caregivers to provide emotional support, and set limits. So both of which are linked to positive adolescent development and parent-child closeness. So we know that some of our students may not have that best at home relationships, whether that be with their parents or caretakers. So we really should let them know, or let them be aware, make them aware of what these relationships could healthy relationships could look like, and what the dangers of unhealthy relationships could look like. Now, for us as educators, we want to know the warning signs or the red flags. So of course, there's going to be so many red flags, but these are some important ones to highlight in our students is problems with school attendance. So particularly if this is a new problem. So if students are absent a lot, or if they are really late to class continuously, that's going to be a warning sign. The lack of interest in former activities that they were interested in, stop seeing friends, or becomes more isolated. Um, they change in appearance, which is typically normal, but of course, you don't want to jump to conclusions. You want to dive in a little bit deeper. And they also have little social contact with anyone but their partner. So this could be due to a toxic relationship. And some other ones might be checking on each other's social media, or being very controlling. And they casually mention their partner's violent behavior or expose your temper, but laugh it off as a joke. So a lot of the times they will have small signs, but will try to make it seem that is not such a big deal. And again, our students might not be aware of the behaviors that are actually very problematic, such as narcissistic behavior or gaslighting. So it is really important to notice those signs for them because they might not be explicitly aware of what these dangers may be, what the dangers may be of this. And just to end it off, uh, something that you should know and something we should practice is being a resource to our students, of course. We want to analyze a situation, but don't necessarily jump into conclusions. So we don't want to, of course, there's going to be some arguments in relationships, but that doesn't mean that it necessarily is going to be a really toxic relationship. We want to make sure that we educate them. We are a safe space and we provide resources. So whether that be the counselors or community groups that they can be a part of. And lastly, this is my resource page. Um, for educators, I thought that this was a really good source. So it is called reachout.org and it is specifically designed for teachers. So if you want to know more information on how to help your students, you can definitely check out that resource. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a good day.